The behavioral theorist I chose to research is Jim Roy. He wrote a book called Soul Shapers, A Better Plan for Parents and Educators. My name is Frances Young. Jim Roy received his Bachelor in Science degree from Pacific Union College in 1977, and just a year later completed his Master's of Arts in Teaching degree from Andrews University in Michigan. Then in 1989, he completed his coursework with a doctorate in education from La Sierra University. He later became William Glasser's authorized biographer due to his doctoral work on Glasser's theories. Jim taught in the K-12 system for 22 years. He worked as an educator, principal, and associate educational superintendent in the Oregon Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. In 2005, he published his first book, Soul Shapers, A Better Plan for Parents and Educators. He continues to travel giving lectures and workshops on the theories contained in his book. Since the year 2000, he has been a professor of education at Pacific Union College in Angwin, California. His latest published work is William Glasser, Champion of Choice, which he published just 3 years ago in 2014. Jim's biggest hobby is teaching in a Sabbath school that he developed called TLC4. This Sabbath school not only meets on Sabbath for lesson studies, but also intermingles with the community in helping out with charity events. He loves nurturing others with the theories taught in Soul Shapers, his first book. He enjoys traveling on his Goldwing motorcycle and occasionally takes in a game of golf. The major components of Soul Shapers are actually a comparison of William Glasser and Ellen White's theories on education. So his views are actually just an emphasis on their main philosophies. They both emphasize the difference between external controls versus internal controls. External controls are coercive encouragements through rewards or punishment. Internal control is motivation through interest. Soul Shapers teaches parents and educators to move their teaching incentives for learning away from coercive compliance and towards self-motivation. In this way, students control their own choices, and teachers and parents create positive relationships instead of adversaries. Jim Roy compares the theories of William Glasser and Ellen White. Some congruencies are as follows. William Glasser's choice theory is that motivation comes from within. Ellen White says those who train their pupils to feel that the power lies in themselves to become men and women of honor and usefulness will be the most permanently successful. William Glasser emphasizes, we cannot pressure any students to work if he does not believe the work is satisfying. Ellen White agrees. True education is not the forcing of instruction on an unready and unreceptive mind. The mental powers must be awakened, the interest aroused. William Glasser writes, we choose all our actions and thoughts, and indirectly almost all our feelings, and much of our philosophy. Ellen White agrees. It is within the power of everyone to choose the topics that shall occupy the thoughts and shape the character. William Glasser points out that the stimulus-response theory is ineffective, which is reiterated in the story of Daniel's 3 friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, when they refused to bow down to King Nebuchadnezzar's golden statue. Even though there was the external stimulus of being burned alive in a fiery furnace, they refused. As we all know from the story, this type of coercion breeds steadfast resistance. The 3 friends unwaveringly refused to comply and were thrown into the fiery furnace. Some strengths of Jim Roy's theories that I feel I can use in my classroom are as follows. First, I want to remember that rewards and punishments are not effective motivators. I've been a big promoter of having a treasure box for good behavior on Fridays. I need to rethink the values of this external control. Next, I want to motivate through interest. I'd like to send out a survey to my students this summer to find their interests and incorporate them into my lesson plans next school year. I need to remember that coercion results in student adversaries. I should pique my students' curiosity for knowledge through interest in the subject matter as a motivator, instead of pressuring them to do the work. My students need to learn self-control. I'd like to use my Bible stories through our morning worship to emphasize how people choose their own fates, and how Jesus made the ultimate sacrifice through his death on the cross to give us the gift of choice. These are sources I used for my presentation.